Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny and today we are here right outside our house at the shade garden spot, and I wanted to come to you today because we are at the very end of March. We have had some fantastically very warm days. In fact, just last week here in North Carolina, I think we got up to 84. Now, I know this happens everywhere, but a lot of times you will get those, what we call those false springs. Yes, we're definitely officially in spring right now, but we have not yet reached our last frost date. And we get a little antsy, we get a little anxious. We all want to get out there and start buying our flowering annuals and get them in the ground and just go for it, right? It's been a long winter, we're all ready to go for it. But you have to be really careful about putting your annuals out too early, because we will have those great warm days and you think, oh, all those cold temperatures are gone, but are they really? No, they're not. So perfect example, last week was 84. This coming week, like a week later, almost to the day, is going to be 31, 30, 29. You know the weather, they never get it quite right. So if you have all of your warm weather annuals outside in those kinds of temperatures, they're going to get zapped. So the whole point of today is to kind of give you some ideas, some of the best practices to protect your plants from those late frost and freezes. Because not only do you have to think about your warm weather annuals, but there are just a very small handful of shrubs that you might want to protect. And so I thought it would be really educational for me to go ahead and just kind of show you how I protect those plants. Now, first of all, what do you not even need to worry about, right? What are things that you're like, they're fine, there's nothing to do? Those would be hydrangeas that bloom on new growth. So those would be like your panicle hydrangeas, your limelights, your little limes, your bobos, firelights. Those kinds of hydrangeas, they're fine, leave them alone. Any kind of shrub that's been in the ground, your azaleas, all of that, they're good, leave them alone. Your perennials that have been in the ground or have overwintered outside, again, they're fine. That's the beauty of shrubs and perennials, just leave them alone. Some of the things that you do want to focus on as far as shrubs, so let's cover those first, would be your hydrangeas that bloom on old growth. For example, let me show you this, and I'm going to tiptoe real carefully because I do have my shade garden that is starting to wake up. Right here, I have a hydrangea that you can see is already putting on lots of beautiful new green growth. This is a macrophylla type of hydrangea. That means that it blooms on old growth. It formed its bud set last year. So even though I don't actually see buds, they're there. The flower buds are there. If we get a hard freeze, it can fry all of this like new growth where my buds are. So I want to protect that. For a shrub of this size, there's really the best way to do it is, I don't know about y'all, I'm gonna grab this right quick. I always have old sheets. These are old bed sheets. In fact, this one turned out to be, you'll see here in a minute, this is the one I keep in my car. Normally it's clean, but this is the one, if you can see, that we used as a drop cloth for our kids when we had art on the kitchen table. So I put this down so it's got paint all over it. Simply take an old bed sheet and just lay it over it. Lay it over your hydrangea. Make sure she's all covered up. If you need to tuck it in, tuck it in. There you go. Voila. As easy as that. Now it may look in your garden like you are decorating for Halloween and you have little ghosts everywhere, but that's all right. This will protect it. So you can use that. This is a great idea to do. If you don't have, some of you who came to the nursery when we had the unique stone order, right? And I was giving you away all those great burlap bags. Maybe you're not crafty, but you got some of these burlap bags. All I did was I slid it up the middle, the side. The bottom was already done. And this may take a couple of these, but you can just take them and kind of cover your shrubs just like that. Again, you do want to make sure that everybody's covered. It may take two, but that's what these burlap bags are great for. So even if you're not crafty, the next time I give away the burlap bags, come grab a bunch so that you can protect your plants this way. What you do not want to use on your hydrangeas is plastic. Plastic is going to be more harm than it is good. Without getting too scientific, basically the plastic can burn your plants because you're going to have moisture coming up from the ground, from the plants, that's going to be trapped underneath that plastic. When those cold temperatures hit and the foliage of the plant is touching the plastic, the foliage is damp, it's going to freeze it. So you're actually doing a little bit more damage than you are doing good. So your hydrangeas, those kinds of things, you can use your fabric, towels. We've done like beach blankets, pillowcases, you name it. Any kind of cloth material is fantastic to cover them. Now, let's say, again, you'll see right here. Let's see, Jerry, can you show them this? This is right here. This is my bleeding heart. So this is a perennial, and you can see she's just now coming up out of the ground. So my bleeding heart, because she is a perennial, she's a cold weather perennial, she's fine. I do not have to worry about her one bit. But we're going to use for just a moment our imagination. Let's pretend that she's a coleus, okay? And I need to cover up my coleus because coleus will surely not survive. Coleus, impatiens, begonias, lantana, hot weather plants, not going to survive. One of the easiest ways to do this is to take an old nursery pot, maybe you just planted them up. So I have my PW tub, and I take it and I just simply cover it. Easy peasy. So I have done this many times when especially last year, we got a frost in May. Up by the gate, I had this bed was full of pots. This will keep the frost and the freeze off of the plant. It's not really touching it, so inside, and there's plenty of room for air circulation, this is a great thing. Well, maybe you have something that's a little bit too big. You have a pot, you need to cover your pot. Use an old tub, right? Use your gardening tub. Take it, turn it upside down, and cover your plants. This is one of the best ways to protect these guys. And then finally, of course, if you haven't even planted them yet, you have a shrub that you haven't planted, maybe you've got annuals you haven't planted, just bring them inside. That's really easy. So you can just bring them inside. You can put them in, you can put them in a garage, but you need to make sure that your garage temperatures are not getting below freezing, because if it's below freezing in the garage, well, then that's not really helpful, now is it? So hopefully this has been a little informative. It's been helpful. You'll be prepared. So when there comes a frost or a freeze, after you've got new growth on some of your hydrangeas, or maybe you've already gone ahead and put things out into the ground, that you can cover them. Remember the basics: no plastic whatsoever. So no trash bags, no grocery bags, none of that. If it's a cloth, if it's a fabric, so it's breathable, that is good. So any kind of cloth, lightweight, is excellent. Now I have had before when I've done a pot and I didn't want the weight of a blanket on there, stick something in there, like go get into the woods or whatever, get a stick and stick it in your pot so it brings some vertical height that's heavy, and then you can cover it with your fabric so that the weight of the blanket doesn't kind of squish your plants. Again, I hope you have found this helpful. Get out there. Remember, in the future, I know it's hard, but don't buy those annuals until your last frost date. Don't know what your last frost date is? Professor Google will tell you. Just type it in. What is the frost date for? Put in your zip code and it will come up. Here in North Carolina, Zone 7B is April the 18th. So Jenny has learned from several years of losing plants. I don't put plants out, my annuals, until after that last frost date. And even then, that is a guideline, 2 weeks on either side. So it could be the end of April, 1st of May. But just be aware, I know a lot of you are new to gardening and you just get so excited, but knowing your last frost date is really important, because I hate for you to have to lose plants and then come back to Creekside and shop for a second time for that same plant. As always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. We'll see you the next time. Bye, friends.